Hey guys, welcome back to Superpower User. My name is Stanley, and in this video, we're going to be picking up right where we left off, and we're going to be installing the 3rd Gen Threadripper 3960X into the motherboard. So let's get to it. So in the last video, I tested out a bunch of methods to apply the thermal paste, and I got thermal paste everywhere. So we're going to be taking one of these cleaning tools, cleaning napkins, or if you have isopropyl alcohol, that works too, and just clean up all of that thermal paste to get it really clean, get whatever residual stuff off of the CPU. All right, now that I've cleaned up the CPU, what I'll do is bring you up close to the socket so that we can see how to install the CPU into the socket. All right, the first thing you do is you grab the Threadripper Torx screwdriver that is included with your CPU. What you need to do is to uninstall or unscrew all 3 screws. There's actually a particular order you need to unscrew these, and it's in 3, 2, 1. So first start with the 3rd one, and now the 2nd one, and you finish up with the 1st one. And from here, with that loosened, the bracket should swing open by itself. All right, from here, you can see these 2 blue tabs right here. What you do is you lift on these 2 blue tabs, then this comes out. And then you can remove the bracket from here. From here, you can take the CPU, which I've got right here, and notice it's all cleaned up. There's no, all the pins are good and clean and ready to go. Make sure you don't touch the pins on the motherboard, or else you're gonna end up with a bent pin, and then you're gonna end up, well, you probably have to RMA the motherboard because you've just broke your motherboard. You take out the plastic thing and you slide in the CPU into the carriage, and you'll hear a little click. There you go. So it clicks down, and then all you do is you push it down, and then you hear another click, and then that's it. It's actually kind of simpler than Intel's 3647, LGA 3647 method of installing the CPU, the big CPU. So from here, we close that, and then all we need to do is to re-tighten these screws in the order that you untighten them. So first, number 1. So as you turn this torque wrench, you'll hear a click as you hit the correct torque setting, and there you go. So that right there means that this screw is torqued down to the correct tension. Now you need to do the same thing with these screws right here. And make sure not to over tighten, because if you over tighten, then you may have issues with the CPU touching the pins, or you're gonna start losing the DIMM slots. All right, there you go. So that one's done. And now the last one. All right, so again, make sure when you hit that mark, you don't keep on turning, because if you keep on turning, then you've kind of defeated the purpose of a torque wrench. The CPU is ready to go, and then you can mount your CPU water block, or whatever block. What I've got here is the EK Velocity water block, and I'm gonna be mounting this onto the CPU. In the last video, we looked at the different methods of applying thermal paste, and either the line or the cross. In the end, because I'm using NTH2 as my thermal paste, and Noctua recommends the 9 dots plus 4 dot method, I think that's what I'm gonna be going with in this specific build. So what I'll do is make sure I dry off the CPU first. So this is one dot. These are the bigger dots. Okay, so those are the ones, those are the 4 dots in about 3 to 4 millimeter diameter. We're gonna finish off with the smaller dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So this looks like it's pretty excessive, but again, based off of what we found in the last video, it really doesn't make that big of a difference, and indeed, that is what's recommended. So, hey, whatever, right? All right, so here is the water block, and all you do is just drop it on there. And one interesting thing about the SP3 socket is that the holes are actually different sizes or different widths. So this is much wider than this one, so you can't actually install them backwards on accident. From here, we can screw down the water block. Because this is spring loaded, you don't actually have to worry about too much how much you're tightening down. You'll hit a stop, and then the springs will take over on the necessary force. But you still should screw these down in opposite order. So screw this down a little bit here, screw this down a little bit here. And then this one's all the way in. This one's all the way in. Don't over tighten these threads. There's really no need. Finger tight. Don't use tools. You'll never be able to remove them otherwise. So yeah, that's basically how you install a Threadripper CPU and a EK Velocity sTR4 water block. As you can see, it really wasn't that difficult, and it only took a few minutes on camera. So as long as you're careful and you follow all the steps, you could do it at home no problem. Anyway, if you found this video useful, make sure to hit that like button and perhaps consider subscribing if you want to see the rest of this build. We'll see you in the next one.